I was thinking, people say this all the time, so now what? I've been doing what I've been doing for, man, decades. It's what I have to do. Now, when do I get a chance to do what I want to do?
Well, and that's what we do here at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We help you get from the I have to's to, wow, I get to.
I'm Brad Johansson.
And I'm Joe Wilson, and welcome to another edition of Wise Money.
Man, we're so glad you're with us on Wise Money. Thanks for being back with us. Brad Johansson, Joe Wilson III, Omega Wealth Private Capital. How are you, buddy?
Here we are, buddy. Another week.
You good?
Fabulous.
We're heading into golf season. I mean,
Four.
where you can play a little bit more.
I hope so. It's been a while since I've been out there.
I need
you've been on injured reserve.
I need to play a little bit more.
Are you ready? You took a swing the other day. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. You were in the simulator at the office, and you had a client in there, and you took a swing. When I was like, "You're just an athlete, man." He's an athlete.
He's such a liar. He's such a liar. Look, we digress to the point of, you want to get to the point of something that's fun for you. You want to be able to do what you want to do. It's what we say every week. You've been doing what you have to do. Let's do what you want to do. How do we do that? With income. So I want to spend today kind of focused on maybe your pot of gold. What does that look like? What is your lifestyle supposed to be? I've said this in workshops. Joe has constantly said this. Look, you're a phenomenal leader.
Well, thank you.
That's what you do in trying to figure it out. And what we have learned in a lot of this, in doing the show, in doing the radio, in doing workshops, is, yeah, but we've repeated that. Why do we repeat all of this stuff? Because it works. You have to have an understanding of, how do we do this in a systematic fashion to be able to get to what works. And
I think that's because we need to provide, clarity.
The 4 C's is what we kind of started our Flourish workshop with. And I think this is important. So take me through the idea of the 4 C's if we're going to get to our pot of gold.
Well, I think number one is we see a lot of folks. And thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in. Many of our relationships, folks have saved a lot of money. They've been accumulating. They have an advisor. They've
done a really good job.
They have. But it's amazing to me how much lack of clarity is there. As you're getting closer to that event date, we'll see it at 59.5. People are just like, all right, it's getting closer. Yeah. You see it at 62, you see it at 65, you see it at 70. They're milestones. And there's a lack of clarity, I think, in our industry. Why? Our industry is designed, thank God for it, to be very focused on accumulation, right? Think of just how you save in the 401ks, and I just save and go and save and go.
But we were led in this industry, not in this industry, but in the entire structure, let's get to a number.
Well, that's interesting, because if you're not using good numbers, then life changes, things happen.
There comes clarity.
Yeah.
That maybe it's not just about getting to a number.
I think you got to reverse engineer it. I think looking at just a number doesn't make sense to me, because I think you need to look at, what is your spending? What do you want to do in retirement? What do you have to do? Get a spending plan. As simple as that sounds. How many people do we sit down with and they go, I've never even thought of that? How are we sitting as an industry and not just talking about the basics? Here's what I have to stay retired. Here's what I want to do. Then adjust it for inflation. If there's taxes, make sure we use a good tax number. Make sure we use a good inflation number. And reverse engineer that out 25, 30 plus years. To me, that's a better way to do it, because that's going to tell you, hey, do you need to work another year or two? Because if your only hope is average rate of return, well, that's not great, because average is not actual. If I have $100, Bijo, do this with me. Think of this, $100, and it goes down 50%. How much do I have?
I got 50
cents, right?
Well, we had $100, so it's $50.
$50.
Don't shortchange me.
I was trying to put more money in my pocket. $50. If the market's up 50% the next year, had 100, down to 50, up 100 or 50 the next year, what do I have? Am I back to 100?
No, you're back to 75.
75.
Yeah.
What's my real rate of return over 2 years? Negative 25%. Had 100, now I have 75. What's my average rate of return?
0.
Down 50, up 50.
Yeah.
Works the same way, up 50, down 50. It's 0. Average is not actual. When you're taking money out, there becomes a confusion because here's what happens. When those bad years hit, boy, you saw this a lot in 22.
Yeah.
When portfolios were down, we'd see folks for the first time coming in going, I have this money and it's been great. Can I? They need clarity. So number one, identify. What do you have? What do you want to do? Let's adjust it for the right neighbors and get clarity. Once that comes, this is what I want. I've used it. There's a level of confidence that begins to hit. And I find this interesting because I think this is where a lot of people fail. I think they have an idea, but yet they haven't done the math appropriately. And so then they're scared to spend. How many people have we sat down with that has $3-4 million and they're spending 50 grand a year?
And what do you say? Spend your money.
We've built for it. We've planned it. Take a trip. Do it. And they don't because they don't have the confidence. They're just worried about it. But once we start to have that conversation, we ran into a couple not too long ago that we had this conversation with. And I asked him, I said, how many vacations this year? He goes, 2.5. And that was so fun because you could see there's confidence in that. It gives you a sense of control. The fact that you realize this is where I'm going to go to get my money first. If you're sitting there right now and you're retired, I want you to think about your savings. Probably a 401k. Hopefully you have some Roth money, after-tax money. Hopefully you've got some investments outside of that. You have checking and savings.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get your first dollar when you say, take this job and shove it? What account do you go to? Where do you go for it? Do you know? You need clarity. And with that comes confidence. And with that comes control because after that, my goodness.
Comfort.
Comfort. Comfort. Comfort in knowing that you can have the retirement of your dreams. That is what we do. I know that's a little philosophical, but I want you to hear me. If you're just trying to plan to retire, I'm going to go through math here in our next segment and just say, well, I just hope the market continues to go up. I think it will. I think there will be more good years than bad years. There's a challenge with that. Because if you time it wrong, there's an issue. I'm going to put some math to it. But I do think many folks have been epic savers. You just have no idea how to spend it because you're scared to death and you're not using the right numbers. And that's what we help people do.
The 4 C's, clarity builds confidence to give you the control so that you can find your comfort. I want you to call the number on your screen so that we can put together your retirement readiness plan. It is yours for free. We do that complimentary, whether you're in Indianapolis or in Kentucky or in Cincinnati. We want you to come in to be able to find your 4 C's. Call the number, make the appointment. We'll break down the numbers when we come back. Is your retirement paycheck big enough to last until your last breath? We'll talk about an income plan for you next on Wise Money. Sammy the Duck, he's cute, but he's greedy. He always wants your tax money. Every April 15th, you pay it, you think you're done, and he keeps coming back. Every year you pay, and Sammy still wants more. But in retirement, you're supposed to pay less taxes, right? I'm done with this? No. Sammy still wants more. At Omega Wealth Private Capital, we have tax strategies to help you pay less taxes. Keep more of it in your pocket. And instead of going this way, Sammy goes this way, and you're done paying taxes. Wouldn't you like to have more money in your pocket? Give us a call at Omega Wealth Private Capital. Let us do some tax strategies of our own without Sammy in it.
I remember on Friday nights growing up, our friends, we would go to the arcade playing the amazing Pac-Man game. The question for you, the modern retiree, are you just out there chasing dots and hoping to get as many as you can before the dreaded ghost catch you? Pac-Man is a fun game, but in retirement, that approach can absolutely eat you alive. A lot of people just head into retirement thinking, if I can keep moving and just dodging this bullet, I'm gonna be fine. But what about those big risks that sneak up on you like those ghosts? Taxes, market crashes, healthcare crisis. One wrong turn and chomp. They can take a massive bite out of what you've spent decades building. That's why every retirement needs an asset preservation plan. What happens if the market goes through a 2000, 2001, 2002? What happens if there is a healthcare crisis that affects you? Maybe even some of the worst times possible in retirement. You get one shot at retirement. Stop chasing dots. Stop hoping that these ghosts just won't catch you. Let's see if your plan is ready to protect you. It's only going to take 3 minutes. I want you to go to owquiz.com, and you're going to find out real quickly where you stand in this whole game so you can be and stay retirement ready.
Someone just called during the break, said, what about the book? I'm sorry. Okay, what about the book? The 5 Agreements to Be and Stay Retirement Ready. This is yours for free. Joe continues to send this out, and that's why people are clamoring. I want the book. I want the book. I want the book.
And we talk about the first agreement, which is income engine.
No, let's go income engine. I mean, this is what we're talking about. As we take you through it, it's income, it's investments, it's asset preservation, it's taxes, it's legacy program. Those are the 5 agreements. If you don't have a plan that secures all 5 of those agreements, you have a problem. It always starts with
income.
Income engine.
Income's the outcome. Recently, ran into a longtime client, and they came in and said, "How y'all doing?" There's been a lot of volatility in the market, and they go, "We're great," because they know where they're going to get their income. I think there's something that happens to retirees. Hear me right now. When you trade volatility for certainty, when you create an income engine, man, that's the sleeping medicine that allows you to sleep through a recession. Why? Because you know this is the pot of money I'm going to get my money, regardless if that market is up, green all over, or red. Not that all your money goes in there. Nay, nay. You need to have growth money. But the thing is, if you set up your income, it gives this time to come back. So many people are managing it all the same, and that's where the lack of clarity, the lack of comfort, the lack of confidence, all of it comes around against the uncertainty. Bijo, there's a couple forms of income. I ask this to a lot of people. Do you like your income to be fixed? Have a clear understanding of what you're going to get?
I would love that.
I would say 90% say yes. Why? That's what we've done our whole lives.
Yeah.
Imagine going to work and not knowing what you're going to get that year for your job.
Exactly.
Well, I could get this. I don't know. And people would be, no way. Nay, nay. When you have an idea of, I'm going to get my fixed assets, what are some of those in retirement? Social Security.
Yeah.
Maybe you worked with a company that provides a pension. They're very few and far between.
12% of America left.
Maybe you set up a personal pension. Maybe you were awarded some type of an annuity of some type through an injury, but maybe you set up a personal pension that allows you to know where you're going to get money regardless if the market's up or down. What are some variable? These are good. They're not bad. They're good. They're just variable.
Yeah.
Business, rental income, it changes. CD interest. Think of that. CDs have been an amazing little tool here recently. So we saw interest rates come up and people can get a risk-free rate of return. It's great. You know what's happening? Interest rates are coming down. They're now becoming like CDs, certificates of deposits, have turned into certificates of depression, because as they're coming due and you're having to re-up those, well, wait a second, last year I got X amount more. That hurts what? Income. It's variable. Bond interest can be the same way. How about stocks and dividends? Stocks have a great job. There's several stocks that have a history of paying, increasing a dividend. It doesn't mean that it's guaranteed. My God, Walgreens, was it a year ago, paid a dividend for 92 years and it went away. You need to make sure you know when you put your income plan in place that all 4 C's around your income are there, that you have a place to go to get income with certainty. That allows you to stomach the variability of life and the markets.
You gave me an earworm.
I'm not sure what that is.
I wrote this down.
Wait, time out. Earworm?
Earworm.
Is that like a media TV thing?
No. You can look it up. An earworm is this is going to run into your head. Trade volatility for a paycheck.
Yeah.
The income floor. It is the secret to sleeping through recession. It's what you said. The market's been up and down. You talk to a client. I'm good. It is the secret to sleeping through a recession. Why? Because you're prepared on your income.
Well, how did you get prepared? We realized
you've created an income
and
engine.
we worked it backwards. Where on your statement right now does it show you how much money you can take out, regardless if the market's up or down, to last you to and through retirement, after taxes, after inflation, What about a healthcare scare? A little pothole on the road that could just wipe you out, $350,000 to $400,000 on average being spent in healthcare. Where are you going to get that money if the market's down? How does that impact you that if it's a short-term thing? And then how are you going to survive if you have one of the family members has longevity in their life? These are things that should and must be addressed to have an efficient retirement plan. We covered in the book.
All right, it's in the book. You scan the QR code for a free copy of your book. Scan that now because I'm going to change it. Are you scanning it? Scan it now. And now I'm going to change it. Call the number on your screen because you want to put your retirement readiness plan together. Do that for yourself. Indianapolis, in Kentucky, in Cincinnati, we'll meet with you. Do you need to do it on a Zoom? Okay, let's meet in person because it matters to you. Why? You need an income engine. We'll talk more when we come back.
You have saved your whole life for retirement, but the question you need to be asking right now is, how much of that will you actually get to keep? If your money's in a traditional IRA or 401k, maybe you're 403b or government worker, 457, you have a partner in every dollar of that money, and that is Uncle Sam. Every time you take money out of those accounts, it's going to be taxable. With tax rates potentially rising in the future, the cost of doing nothing could be significant. A Roth conversion could offer a chance to reduce that future tax exposure. The question you should be asking is, what could your future tax exposure look like, and does it make sense for you to do a Roth conversion? I want you to scan the QR code or visit owrothquiz.com. Take a few minutes to take our Roth conversion quiz. Why don't you find out if a Roth conversion could put you and your family in a better position so you can be and stay retirement ready. What is the number one fear around those entering retirement and just having retired? What is it?
The number one fear is that you're going to run out of money before you die.
We have a window right now where there's some amazing tools where we can disinherit the IRS from that pot of money. So many times you've been saving and doing things, and that might be the right tool for that season. So when's the best time to prepare for rain? When it's sunny out.
When it's sunny.
You don't wait till it's storming. 2001, 2002, 2020. We can go back through here the last couple of decades. There's going to be bad times in the market. Well, where do you go to get your income? Your retirement cannot sustain that. The only way those work out is if you retire and there are several good years right after you walk out of the office. You have to control what you can control, and you cannot control what happens in the markets. You get one shot at retirement, and if you're missing one of these agreements, that can crush you. You cannot go into distribution years with the same tools and hope that's not a plan.
Glad you're with us on Wise Money. Lots to talk about. We're talking about the pot of gold, which is the income engine. You went to it.
Well, the pot of gold is the money that you've amassed and that you have saved.
Hold on, but you say they're not all the same. Two pots?
Well, you can have two pots. I think there's a lot of options. Well, here's the deal. Would you rather, door number one, have $1 million in an IRA or 401k? That's pretty good. That's great.
What's my other option?
Have $1 million in a Roth IRA.
I want that one.
Why?
Because I don't ever have to pay taxes on it again.
I think what's confusing to a lot of folks, and hear me right now, you might have $1 million in your IRA or 401k.
It ain't all yours.
You can't spend all that. I mean, I guess you could. You better get on a boat and live on an island in Bimini or something because you're going to owe a serious tax bill the following year. But when you take it out of a properly structured or a Roth or something that has more tax qualified money, that's more money. It's not what you have, it's what you get to keep. Your income engine, you should know what your income is going to be and how it will be affected by Uncle Sam. How will it be touched and affected by inflation, a real inflation number? Because with that comes clarity. And what we love to do here at Omega Wealth is say, here's what you have. Let's reverse engineer this. What do you want to do to live? What do you have to have? What are your necessities? What medicine? What's your real estate taxes? You have to have that. Now, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do those trips look like? And let's use a real number of inflation, a 50-year number, adjust it, and put a plan together. And now that allows the rest of the money, it can be a little bit of a variable. It can grow and it can move because we've taken care of that risk of running out of money. It's your number one fear. The reason it's your number one fear is you don't have the clarity on it, and that's what we do here at Omega.
Trade your earworm. Joe's looking it up. Trade your volatility for a paycheck. It is the secret to sleeping through a recession. It is managing what the income engine looks like. And we continue to say this to you, that it's important. The book is there, 5 agreements. You scan the QR code. We're going to have to take a quick break. I'm not even going to let you talk on this. I got to go to break. Scan the QR code for the book. What do you want? An income engine that works. And if you haven't had an advisor that has talked to you about why this is different in the distribution phase, maybe it's time for a second opinion. Be right back.
Remember the game Space Invaders? Little ships falling down the screen and you're moving left and right trying to fire back, just trying to make sure they don't catch you. You clear one row and here comes another wave and you start to feel the pressure and worrying, oh my goodness, am I going to be able to survive this level of the game? That's exactly how retirement can feel to you if you don't have a plan. What happens when taxes and inflation and economic events and your market volatility hits you in your portfolio? It feels the same way. Many times they just keep coming one after the other. And a lot of times the game is just like retirement. You don't even know where your hidden risks are. One bad move and boom, game over. I talk about this in chapter 2 of this book, understanding where your hidden risk in your current plan could be hiding and jeopardizing your retirement future. You can't defend against what you can't see. And unlike Space Invaders, where you get extra lives in retirement, you get one shot to get this right. Don't wait for the next wave of attacks to hit. Why don't you take a few minutes right now and go to owquiz.com. Get an idea of where you are and start uncovering those hidden risks that could be lurking in your retirement plan.
Glad you're with us on Wise Money. We're talking about the pot of gold. We all want to get to the pot of gold, the income engine that gets you there. Can we spend a little time on sequence of returns? Because we do this in so many of the workshops, which finally makes people understand, well, come on, I've got money in the market. Why is that a problem?
Well, because when you are retired and you no longer save, you're taking that money out. And if it's all subject to market money that goes up and down, and my God, we need market money. But when we're talking about the core of your income, when you're having to take that money out, it can have a devastating effect if you're having to take that out earlier in your retirement. Maybe we're talking 25 years on average. I think you got to plan 30 plus. If you're 65, we got to plan 95. Because that's where people can get in trouble. I talk about this in the book, page 41, if you want to start there. I'm going to go through an example. It's on page 41.
Okay.
But I want to give a little different example because I think this is important. We see this a lot. I've got 2 neighbors, John and Jacob. Both saved $1 million. And we did a little test. We just did a little analysis that we look at John starting in 2001 at $1 million. Needs to take out $70,000 a year. That was his goal with his Social Security, to live the life he wanted. Here's what I find interesting. 2001, 2002, minus 13%, minus 23%. Then a bunch of good years. 08 happened. Yuck, what a nightmare that was. Then more good years. Here's what I find interesting. At $70,000 a year with that type of volatility in the S&P, John is out of money in 2015. He's broke. Why? 2 bad years happened in the beginning. His neighbor, $1 million, same scenario, taking out $70,000 a year. Over that time frame, Joe, that he had money, John averaged a 7.35% rate of return. That's what he averaged. But the bad years hit first. His neighbor, $1 million, $70,000, over this time frame, guess what he averaged? The exact same. Same average rate of return. When he starts taking money out, we did one thing in this study. If you want this, you call that number on the screen. We're happy to send you what I'm looking at right now, or send you a copy of the book. We give you another example of this. You got to understand this. Jacob, same amount of money saved, same sacrifices, same rate of return, taking the same money out. But at 2015, when you look at that same time frame, he would have had $2.5 million. How is that possible? And when he finally passed and ran out of money, there were some bad years in the very end, and he was still left with 1.2. Another almost 10 years later, where his neighbor ran out of money. How is that possible? We just flipped the order of the years. On the neighbor I just explained, we started with 2023 up 25%, then 22, it's down 19, hideous year, good year, bad year. But the big bad years were happening on the end of it. With the neighbor that ran out of money, they happened in the beginning. We say all the time, you can only control what you can control. But all of your money is being managed in the same way. Stocks, bonds, it can move. We saw that in 22. And you are developing an income plan off of volatility. That only works if the good, hear me right now, if the good years happen early. I explain that and break that down, and you have to understand that because there's a shift from when you have been saving, and that volatility could help you. 08, 09, 𝙀𝙀, you were working, I was working, we were saving money, we were buying it on sale.
Yeah.
My God, what would have happened if we would have retired in 2007? People retired and got crushed because they didn't do the basic things that we're talking about right now.
And I want to go back to the basic before I know you have to close us. We started, and I want to come back to the beginning because I want this to be an earworm for you, the 4 C's for you. Because the desire as you go through the 5 agreements, scan the QR code to be able to get your free copy. You would like clarity. I just want to have an understanding. And that clarity will bring confidence. And in that confidence, then you feel that you have control over the lifestyle that you would like to live in your retirement. Not like anybody else's, but I now am clear. I'm really feeling good. I am confident. So now I have control to create the comfort that I want. Why is this so significant, and why you continue to pound this through the 5 chapters of the 5 agreements, Joe?
I would go back to say, life's tough and there's bad times. Bad things happen to good people. I know there's probably many of you right now, they're little words. There's a lot going on in the world, right? We're seeing some crazy stuff. But the truth of the matter is, 𝙀𝙀, is we can control what we can control. And if you don't have a written income plan that shows you where you can get money when the market is up and shows you where you can get money when the market is down, that's a challenge. You deserve to be able to sleep through times of volatility with the confidence, clarity, the control, and having the comfort of knowing where you're going to get money so you and your family can be and stay retirement ready. I want to thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you next week. Have a great weekend.
From tax time bombs to Social Security insecurities, strategic investments that help clean up your junk drawer and keep your income engine running smoothly at Omega Wealth Private Capital. We're fiduciary, independent, holistic wealth advisors, and we're here to turn your have-tos into get-tos. So, would you like your retirement dreams to move from good to great? Give us a call. It's what we do because we really want to. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you in the office. Until then, I'm Brad Johansson. We'll see you next time on Wise Money.